Are you afraid of the dark? Are you scared? I am you.
Welcome to our show, Haunting the Afterlife Radio. I'm your host Susie, and with me are my fabulous fellow hosts, Brian, Christina, and Caitlin. How are you guys?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Also
I'm
doing great. How about you, Christina?
I'm doing good. How about y'all?
Well, we all know that I'm definitely very excited to be here. This is our opening night, so I know we're all very excited. Bear with us, guys, because this is our opening night. So everyone, welcome to our opening night. Then we appreciate you all being here and hope you all enjoy our shows. So for tonight, we are basically all going to get to know each other, as our open chat room will hopefully give us the opportunity to create a family-like environment. So always feel free to comment and post questions in the chat. One little thing, really quick, please try and remember to post your questions in caps, so that way they will be more apparent to us. Your voices are very important to us. Anyways, to begin, we are going to talk a little bit about how Haunting the Afterlife got started and what our show's intentions are. We will then introduce ourselves as hosts and also talk a little bit about our investigative teams because we are all paranormal investigators. Then you might want to turn down the lights and hold on because we will get into some of our most horrifying paranormal experiences and then also introduce our fabulous guests that we're going to be having on our show who have been to some of the most terrifying locations from around the world. But really quick, before we get started, um, just to let you guys know a few things, there will be a 5-minute break at the top of the hour, give you a chance to grab something to drink or whatever. And also, please, please, guys, try to refrain from profanity and just be, respectful to all the other chatters and the hosts. So, thank you. And with that, let's get started. So, like I said, we'll begin with talking a little bit about how Haunting the Afterlife Radio began. And that began about a year and a half ago. We actually had a show on an international web-based network. I will not mention any names, but um, I was asked to be a host on my own show, and I named it Haunting the Afterlife. And I invited Brian to be a co-host with me, and so we did that for, I don't know, I think it was about 6 months, and then Caitlin got invited to be on with us, and then we all just became a trio of hosts. And that went on for quite a long time. We had a very successful show. We had some amazing guests. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about some of the guests that we had on our show?
Yeah, we had a couple ufologists, Keith Andrews and a Lenny Richards. We've had an author. Um, she wrote a book, The Exorcism of Cindy Sauer. We've had numerous paranormal investigators, a couple of them from New Zealand, some from Australia, and then quite a few from across the US. We've talked with Katrina Weidman from Paranormal Lockdown. Also, we have talked with um, I guess the owner of um, Haunting USA, the tour company.
Yep. Yep. Ghost Hunts USA. By the way, Brian, we're getting some comments in chat that.
Yeah, I see that. I've got my volume all the way up. Yeah, that's as about as good as I can get it right now.
Thanks, guys, for letting us know. Like I said, this is our opening show, and so we're going to have to work through some bugs. But let us know if the sound gets better. Now, can you guys hear Brian okay? Or is it just us females that you're having a hard time hearing? I'm going to check my audio, make sure that my sound is all the way up. Okay. Do I sound better, guys? I had to turn up my sound a little bit.
Okay. Ursula says she can hear you and me. How does it sound now with mine?
Okay, much better. Ninja of the Sea says much better.
Okay, I'll turn up my.
Ursula says you and me, Bri, are louder. Caitlin and Christina, can you guys check your volume on your settings on your computer, please, and make sure that it's all up? Kat says, a bit better. I'll just try to talk a louder. Hopefully that'll help.
Yeah, I can speak a lot louder if you want. Let me see what I can do with my settings.
Thank you, guys. We really appreciate you letting us know. Hopefully soon we can get everything together and everything will be fine for our future shows. But anyways, so yeah, we had a
Okay.
Okay, but now I can hear every little background noise, Bri.
Yeah, that's the only issue that I've got now with turning my mic up is the background noise.
Christine, hear her okay, Kat? Billy says he thought he heard a beer opening. I think that was Brian's squeaky chair. Anyways, so yeah, so we had a lot of guests. We had a lot of shows where we also did special locations, and we had a lot of fun with that as well. One of my favorites was when we did a 2-hour special on Waverly Hills. What was your favorite, Caitlin?
Ooh, that's always tough to try and pick your favorite out. Honestly, I really did love our back and forth discussion on the Borden house and how deep into all of the the case files and being able to delve a lot deeper into it than just the top layer story that you always get and everything. So that was really fun for me.
Yeah, and so after Caitlin became a fellow host with Brian and I, about a year after our show, then came along Christina. She was hired onto the network as a chat moderator for the entire network. So she was moderating our chat room, and she did a great job with that. And within no time, she actually also became a co-host on that network as well. So that's why she's here with us today. Tell us a little bit, Christina, about what it was like for you being a chat moderator, a host for that network, and for Haunting the Afterlife.
It was fun. I learned a lot. I got to teach my team a lot. Um, I met people all over the world, such as Kat from Aussie, and um, just learning different new things on how to investigate and new techniques to use. But I had a lot of fun, and I'm glad I'm back with y'all. We're gonna have a blast.
We're going to kill it. We are definitely happy to have you with us, Christina. You are very, very valuable to our Haunting the Afterlife radio team. And we're going to have a lot of fun, guys, where we are already booked up with guests until July. And we'll be talking about that the second half of tonight's show. We'll be sharing with you what guests we have booked. I'm really excited about that. You guys are not going to be disappointed. And, you did mention something really important, Tina. Getting will have integrity, and that is most important to us. We're not going to have guests on who, are full of BS, and they're going to all be very, very, very amazing people you guys are going to love. So, but that's a little bit about our show. Just trying to get people together, creating that paranormal highway of integrity, para-unity, definitely. Meeting people from across the globe. It's very important, getting to know each other. I, by the way, am in Reno, Nevada. You guys want to say where you're at? Speaking of creating that paranormal highway.
I'm in Reno, so I'm with you, Susie.
I'm watching the network feed and everything, and it just went red. So I'm down in Corpus Christi, Texas. I used to live in Reno and moved down to Corpus Christi to be closer to my folks. And that's where I'm at now.
I see in the chat we have someone from Santa Cruz. Yay!
Whoop, whoop.
That's my favorite town in the whole world. In fact, I'm wearing a Santa Cruz hoodie right now as I'm talking. So anyways, you see, we're all from different parts of the states, and you can also see we've got some people in chat who and Wales and all different places. So para-unity, guys, that's what we're all about. So anyways, that's a little bit about our show. If you guys have any questions, just drop them in chat. Remember to try to keep them in caps so we can see them better. But moving on, we'll talk a little bit about us. Who are your hosts? Hi, Julie B. Hi, Lisa. I guess I'll get started. No, what? I'll have Christina get started. Christina, you start with, tell us a little bit about you, how you got started in the paranormal, and then how your team came about.
Okay, I'm Christina from Fort Smith, Arkansas, and I've been interested in the paranormal since I was very young. I had my first experience when I was approximately 4 years old. They're like family to us, and we do a lot of debunking. We try to catch up. Try to do new things and learn new experiences. A lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of traveling, and we're all pretty excited.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your team, your members. What do they do?
Okay. Well, there's Will and I, and we have another investigator, Pam. We all seem to work together to get investigations. And then I also I do the research and the history on all of the locations that we go to, but I keep that private. I don't tell none of our team members. And then whenever we sit down with our what evidence we think we caught, then usually we can bring two and two together, and that way most of the time the the evidence will show this and that, and it's really shocking when we do it that way. Nikki is real big on EVPs. She's our audio specialist, as well as Bobby. Bobby's really good at EVPs, and he loves video. And then Kurt just kind of sits, in the background and just does the whole. I'm just sitting back. I'll just be the investigator. He doesn't want to do anything special. So, but yeah, we just have fun, and we love meeting new people from all around the world.
Sorry about that network drop, guys. But I think we're back up. Everybody seems to be good. So tell us, chatters, who all in our chat are paranormal investigators? Raise your hand. Thanks, Kat.
I looked out there. I didn't see anybody raising their hands yet. So.
Raise your hand. Awesome, Christina. Do you want to go ahead and pop your team link in that chat so people can visit your page?
Sure.
Kat raised her hand. If you're still with us, say hi so we know we didn't lose you. Yay, Willow! We still got Willow. Sorry, guys. I'm sure we're gonna have a few shows before we get everything perfect, but trust us, we're working really, really hard, and we've been working on this for months now. So good. Oh, everybody's with us. Hi, everybody. So yeah, that was Christina and her team. As far as this other host, we're all part of the mystery gang. So Susie, I started the team, 9 years ago. I didn't really mean to start a paranormal team. It just kind of happened. Growing up, I'd always had paranormal experiences, and I'd also had some mediumship kind of abilities. And as I got older, I just wanted to start going out to some haunted places and see what happened. And one time I was like 30-something, 9 years ago, I got some friends together and we all decided to go investigate a super haunted place here in Reno, Nevada called Robb Canyon. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that location, but supposedly several murders had taken place there and so on and so forth. So we decided to, take our phones and some flashlights, and yeah, that was really it. Blankets, and that was it. And that was the start of everything, basically. After that, we loved it so much. We all just started going out to different places that year, and then we came up with a name for our team, the Mystery Gang. And Kat wants me to talk about Geiger Grade and the dust masks. I'll touch on that in a second. I promise, Kat. That's a really funny story, actually. But yeah, so, and then eventually Brian came along. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about how you came along?
They actually had a few paranormal experiences when I was in the military and stationed overseas in England. I moved to Reno in '96, and I've got two boys, and they decided to go out to Robb Canyon on their own with some friends. And they came back. They were kind of freaked out a little bit and everything. And I suggested that they get in contact with somebody that has more experience than just going out to a haunted location. And I called a few teams around the Reno area, and Susie was the only one that answered. And we met up and we talked. And this was in, I believe, March of 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked up, and uh, she had an investigation going at a residence, and she called me up, asked me if I wanted to go and see how investigation was conducted. So I said sure. I joined in, and I've been with the team ever since. I moved to Corpus Christi in 2016, and I'm slowly trying to build a team down here, uh, but it's going slow. I've had some wonderful experiences with the team, um, and some without the team. When I was in England, I used to hear footsteps going up and down the stairs, and the doors would open and close, and never was able to catch anything at all. I would come down in the morning, and the ice box would be open, or the refrigerator would be open, and the stove would be turned on. And I said, you know what? Um, I don't mind you staying here, but please close the refrigerator door. And if you finish with the stove, make sure you turn it off. And I lived with that for probably a good 8, 9 months, and never really bothered me. And then I've had some wonderful experiences with Susie's team, especially at Geiger Grade.
You want to, I know Kat just wants us to talk about it. You want to talk a little bit before we introduce Caitlin about the dust mask?
Geiger Grade, yes. It was a wonderful, abandoned, rundown house. A beautiful house in its heyday. But by the time that we got to it, it was already been vandalized. There was sheetrock and boards and trash all over the floor. Really, really dusty. A lot of graffiti on the walls, and a home to a homeless person, a transient. So we go out and we do a pre-investigation at the house, and that's just to make sure that we can see what type of environment we're going into before getting there at night and not being able to see what's going on. We left a note for the that was living there, saying that we were going to come out and do an investigation at night. Please don't be there. Well, with all the dust and stuff on this house, we all decided to wear dust mask and latex, like surgical gloves and stuff, so we wouldn't get anything bad on us. And yeah, so here we are. We show up at this location. It's what, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and there's probably, I think it was a whole team plus a couple others. So there's about like 16 people all total. And Susie and I were kind of breaking everybody down into teams and sending them into the house and stuff, and make sure that they had their dust mask on and their gloves. And so I was out standing by my truck talking with Susie, and she decides to go ahead and go on in. And as I started walking up to the house and everything, I noticed that my vehicle kind of started illuminating. And I kind of went around the corner, and there was a cop shining his spotlight on my vehicle. So I go up and I'm talking to him, and I said, we're a team of paranormal investigators, and we're taking some pictures and doing some EVP readings at the house. And he required all of us to come out of the house, so I called everyone out. And as everybody was coming out of the house, his eyes went from basically the stern look to, oh my God, there's like a ton of them. And it's me by myself.
And they're wearing dust masks and surgical gloves.
Yeah.
Like, what
yeah. And I don't really think he knew what to think. And I feel really, really bad due to the fact that he now has to write this in his patrol log.
Good times. We've had some really, really great times. But we've learned a lot. I mean, that was way back in our greener days. We probably shouldn't have had 16 people there with us. We probably.
Oh yeah, I think that was back in 2010.
Yeah, that was like our first year.
That we did that. Yeah. So yeah, we've learned a lot from then, and yeah, it's really an interesting field to be in, and the history about everything. Christina puts cop cars.
And I also just again put Christina's link to her team page in there because she wasn't able to do it. So guys, that's Christina's Old Fort Paranormal Facebook page. Go check it out. Follow them. They're fascinating. But we also have a few other people to introduce, including Caitlin. But first, I want to give a shout to Lisa and Zoe, who are in chat right now, because they are also part of the Mystery Gang. Thanks, Lisa, Zoe, for coming in to a chat and joining us, supporting us. So, Caitlin, tell us about, how did you get into the paranormal and how you got into the Mystery Gang?
All right. Well, first off, hello, everyone. Good evening. And everyone in chat. Nice to see everyone. Let's see. I'm not sure I can pinpoint a specific time. It's kind of like around when Christina said, maybe around 3, 4. I've always kind of seen them, heard them. Paranormal just kind of lurked around my house. When you're young, though, it's not really the connection you put to it, rather than you just see some stuff that other people aren't seeing, or you have friends that, other people don't see and they don't hear, and you play with them. But kind of always lived with it in my personal life. It never was kind of out of the ordinary, other than talking with my friends and realizing they didn't really see or stuff like that. I guess delving deeper into it, or ghost hunting or anything like that, until I got into college and moved here to Reno. I'm originally from the Bay Area. Moved here about 10 years ago now. And let's see, how do I put this politely? I stalked Susie.
You did not stalk me.
I did.
Okay, I didn't realize you were stalking me.
I mean, in hindsight, it was a little bit stalkerish, I'm not gonna lie. So Susie was in one of my English lit classes with me. And, being the eavesdropper that I am, I overheard her talking to our professor about, this poetry reading that she was going to. And she was going to read some of her poetry, which is phenomenal, by the way, guys.
Thank you.
If Susie ever lets it out of the box that she's tightly tied it up in and locked away, you guys would be blown away and amazed. So just saying, push her, she'll let it out. But but no, I overheard her telling the professor, I'm gonna be doing this poetry show, and well, this is what the topic's on. It's paranormal and yada yada. Me and my group, and it was like little Scooby ears, like you have a group. And so then I, not so calmly, introduced myself to her after that. And I said, "Oh, I'd love a flyer. I'd love to come listen." And the look on her face was like, "Okay, crazy person, sure, you can have a flyer. That's not weird." Because I never spoke in class, never really spoke to her, other than just like admiring from afar in class. So she gives me a flyer out of the goodness of her heart, and I show up to the poetry reading like like a creeper. And then, swooped on her afterward and was like, "Hey, that was really good. I'd love to know more and give up." She's like, yeah, sure. I'll give you my information and we can meet up. And that's how I joined my second family. And met my amazing.
And what's really funny about that, Caitlin, you sounded just like her.
No, it was definitely fate. It was amazing, and I'm so lucky that I got to be a part of the group and meet everyone, and wouldn't have met you, Susie, or Brian, or Christina. The group brought me everyone, and it's nice to have a family away from home type of thing. So, and you really do, like as Christina was saying, and Brian and Susie, it really does become your second family. Everyone's very, very close, and I've had some ridiculous times with everyone, good and bad. Some unmentionable on air, but all good, all good. So, yeah.
Well, we'll talk a little bit about your favorite moments with our family, but we have a question in chat. So I want to take that on from Kat. Yay! So this comes from Kat Ward. Do you feel there's a distinction between a ghost hunter and an investigator and or researcher? Who wants to take that?
I like to go ahead and hit on that one real quick. A ghost hunter. I think a ghost hunter goes out just for the thrill. They want to get that adrenaline rush. I think an investigator goes out and does the research. They do the time to find out the history, possible names, and does history on different locations. A researcher, I think, kind of goes a little bit more in depth, and they're the ones that try out the new techniques, the new technology, and I think it's that kind of a breakdown as you get into the paranormal field. I think you're first starting out going, yeah, this is going to be exciting. This is going to be fun. So you're in that little green area, and I would consider that sort of like a ghost hunter. After you start getting in there, you start progressing a little further, wanting to know more. and digging in and doing a little bit more research and finding out things. And that's when you kind of progress to an investigator. And then even further down the spectrum is your researcher, the one that's out trying new techniques. And Kat, I want to say that you're at that researcher area with all the different little experiments that you do, and I would love to learn more about that. And eventually, in time, I will. But you have to work through that green, wet behind the ears, not sure what you're doing, getting to the point where you can actually walk into a dark hallway without actually kind of feeling afraid and apprehension. And yeah, so I think it's all in a phase. It's as you start and till the time that you get to the point where you want to be.
Yeah,
What about you, Susie? How do you feel about that?
I can't even answer that because you basically just answered it for me. So thank you for that. Awesome job. I totally agree. And thank you, Kat, for that question. Guys, ask us anything you want. Just try to keep it paranormal related, please. Okay, if you want to ask us our favorite pizza, that's cool. But, you know, but yeah, no.
Susie's favorite pizza. Susie's favorite pizza is Red Dog Saloon Pizza. It is actually in Virginia City. If you ever get to Virginia City, go there, have the pizza, have the Bloody Mary. It is awesome. That's not a paid advertisement.
No, it's very true, guys. If you ever get to Virginia City, I live away from Virginia City, you know, where the Washoe Club is and everything. So yeah, but if you guys ever go there, doing some ghost hunting or ghost investigating or whatever you want to call it, stop at Red Dogs. But anyways, I definitely agree with you, Brian. I do think it comes in stages. I think back to, like I said in the beginning, my first quote unquote investigation at Robb Canyon. I do honestly believe that was just a ghost hunt because we had no equipment with us. We weren't actually really investigating, I guess. We were just kind of hunting for ghosts and experimenting with that aspect of it. And then we kind of grew into being investigators. And yeah, so definitely agree. Just checking chat really quick if there's any questions.
Yeah, that's actually another question, and this is a
two-part.
I'm going to take this one, Christina, from Billy.
Yeah, it's a two-part question to Kat's. It's, do you get blessed before going in? Or wait a minute, let me reread that. Do you get blessed before going out and have you ever brought any spirits home with you?
What do you think, Christina? You want to answer that one?
Well, I've never brought any spirits home with me, but we did do a house in Roland, Oklahoma, where Will did. And it was a two-part investigation. We did one at the house, and then we went and did the building urinal. And he acted really funny for a few days, and I actually had to do some blessings with him and do a little prayer. And then we tried to go back into that, the Freemason building in Van Buren. And he was in there 5 minutes and got extremely sick. He's never been able to go back in there. But he, did the whole sage and the whole prayer, and he followed up on what he needed to do. So, but yeah, I do believe that, yes, you can bring spirits home with you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I know that I have had some follow me home. Well, they do a lot, even if I tell them not to. they, for some reason, like to follow me home. But as far as the mystery game goes, we don't really usually like do anything special before we go investigating. We don't get blessed or do very much. We do ask for our guides, our spirit guides, or whoever to protect us. And we also are firm believers in positive energy and white light. So we definitely do call upon that before we go somewhere we know could possibly be dangerous. But yeah, I've been followed home. And I'm pretty sure Caitlin's been followed home too a few times.
Oh yeah, they just kind of do it. It's not really, I don't know, there's not really like a nice invite sent out, no party invitation. They just kind of say, you know what, you're pretty swell, I'm coming back with you.
Yeah.
Although most of the time they've never really, they just kind of appear when I'm there. I've never felt anything specifically like attach itself to me and come home. Every once in a while I'll notice just kind of something lurking about, and then they dissipate. Not so much as Susie likes to get long-term tenants. So
because I think they need my help, but I don't necessarily want to help them when I'm in my house. I like to set up boundaries because I've got young kids, so I kind of feel like
mine's saying live stream offline.
Well, I'm still showing green, so it's still going.
You guys still hear us okay?
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Okay. We have a question from Kat. Let me scroll up a little bit.
Well, I was gonna add a little to Billy's question. Do you get blessings before going out? No, like Susie said, we usually say like a little prayer and everything, saying, "Please protect us from any harm. Please protect our other team members," and then we just kind of watch out for each other to make sure that everyone is safe and that their characteristic and mannerisms haven't changed during the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
I myself have never brought a spirit home with me. I tend to be a little bit more, I wouldn't say protective, but I tend to always be on guard. And that was just military bringing up and everything. And I think my demeanor kind of pushes kind of spirits away. I can't say that I'm a skeptic and a believer. I'm in between. I always look for a logical explanation to everything. So I will be the first one to be the devil's advocate, saying, "Oh no, that's not paranormal at all. That's blah 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 blah." Due to the fact that just with the logical thinking and stuff, not saying that any of the other team members don't think logically. It's I just tend to keep more of a situational awareness of my surroundings and getting a feel for the location before the investigation ever starts. Hope that answered some of your the question there, Billy. Kat, what do you feel constitutes a paranormal experience?
And then she went further with that too.
Yeah, and to further my question, what do you feel may influence a paranormal experience? Paranormal experience. Wow, that's actually a really tough one because there hasn't been anything that's been 100% proven that it is paranormal. You can have experiences that are unexplainable. The hair standing up on your arm. That could be a couple things. It could be um, electromagnetic fields. It could be temperature change. But, you know, one of the best ones that I like is that's really unexplainable is EVPs. If you're getting a voice that is not one of your team members and not you, then yeah, can it still be explained? Probably.
I know how Kat might explain that. There's this theory, and
it's auto Cordelia.
Or when you're actually projecting.
Right.
Your
yeah, that's I was just trying to I was still trying to constitute a paranormal experience. Anything that happens that you cannot explain away logically can be considered an experience of unknown origin.
What would you define as being paranormal? I guess we would have to start there. So what is paranormal? What does the dictionary say is paranormal?
Anything that is not normal.
So there you go. So we can define it as that. So I think we're on the right track. What do you think, Kat?
But I was going to go down as far. Can experiences, I believe that paranormal experiences can be influenced by, first of all, if you know the history of the location, and let's say that shadows, disembodied voices, objects moving, EVPs. I think subconsciously you can manifest those things by hyping yourself up so much that that's what you're going to go in there and look for.
I think that might actually answer. Sorry.
You want it so bad that you cause it to happen without you knowing about it.
And I think that might kind of answer Willow's question, because there are some parapsychologists that do believe that we do that. We do manifest apparitions to walk by you. So it's all very debatable, but fun. I think we got a question from Tina, though.
Okay, I had to scroll up. Okay.
But did you have anything else to say really quick, Bri?
I myself, when I go to when I get to go to a location, I prefer not to know anything about it. I don't want to know the claims. I don't know. Show me where the activity happens, but don't tell me what the activity is. I want to experience it on my own, so I don't have that preconceived notion of what I should be looking for when I walk into a place. I want to walk into a place and see if I have the experiences to validate the claim or
ghost hunting, quote unquote. I was opposite, but now that we've been doing this for so long and we've talked to so many investigators over the years. I agree with you now, Brian. I don't like going in with the preconceived notion there. What about you, Christina? Because you're on a different team. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, well, I do research. That's the one thing that I do. My investigators don't do it. Um, but I write everything down, keep it in a notebook, and then after the investigation, when we all sit down to review evidence, as in EVPs and watch cameras and things like that, then I'll go back through my notes. But then the last few investigations, I have not done research. And to me, it's not been any different. But that's just, I don't know. That's my thing is I'm that type of person that I can walk in a library and nobody will go with me anymore because I will literally sit there until they're shutting the lights out, researching all these places. I just love research.
I do too. I'd go with you, Christina, if I lived closer to you.
We got a question from Willow Paranormal Society. What about
the apparition one?
Yeah.
Well, I already kind of answered that, but Tina had a question before that.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. She asks, do you think people who are mentally challenged, for instance, those with autism, Downs, schizophrenia, bipolar, etc., are more open/sensitive to the paranormal?
Ooh.
I can answer part of that, some of that.
And then we can touch a little bit more on Willow's question too, but I wanted to take care of Tina first.
Yeah.
Yeah. My oldest daughter has cerebral palsy. And for years and years and years, she kept talking about Jimmy, which was an uncle that I had. I do believe that children that have disabilities and things as such are very more sensitive to the paranormal. I really do think that. Because since I've been doing this the last few years, I have talked to a lot of individuals. Somebody just contacted me the other night over a 16-year-old daughter that she was thinking something was mentally wrong with her. And as I've spoke with her and I've talked to her for over the last few days, I think her daughter is an empath or a medium. I mean, she's seeing things. She's getting stuff before stuff happens, and she's scared over it, and she has panic attacks. And so I'm looking for somebody right now around in Pennsylvania area that could go sit and chat with her. But yes, I do think that children with disabilities do have a more sensitive to the paranormal.
I do too. What do you think about that, Caitlin? Do you think that?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree with both of you. I think where the line lies that they're able to be a little bit more in touch is that they perceive the world differently. I mean, every single person perceives the world differently, but I believe having, whatever affliction it is, you take a different mental approach to it. You see it in a different light. The context of the world, people approach you differently about things. Maybe you're more standoffish and you're more of a wide picture viewer. So you're seeing everything. You're not as boxed in. You're not as focused on these little minimalistic things that the rest of society is. And you're able to, I guess, see it in a grander scheme. You're not as, I don't know, culturally hardwired, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, it goes the same for kids. Kids are so much easier to be affected and to see the paranormal than, even I noticed that with my own self growing up. It happened a lot more. I saw a lot more. I noticed a lot more the younger I was until I got older, until I got into these, mainstream world and context in these tiny boxes, and you got to think this certain way, and not necessarily that you want to, but that's just how you end up fitting into those I don't know, mental perceivings of things. And I think it just allows them to maybe see more than what meets the eye. You know, because I mean, I've quite a few of my friends, they have a sibling that, you know, is afflicted by something or another, and they're just, I mean, you just know when you speak to someone, you know, that has something, whatever it is, that they have a bigger, grander kind of knowledge. Sometimes they see things a lot, they perceive it different, they see it different, they understand it different, sometimes on a whole different in-depth scale than you ever could, and you can see it in their eyes, even if they're not as vocal about it or able to be as vocal about it. There's a different connection. So I agree.
Yeah, and I mean, look at what they say about the hard of hearing and the blind, too.
Yeah, your senses. I totally
yeah.
agree with that. You know, because we're so dulled by using, you know, really our eyesights. You know, well, if I can't see it, it's not real, or I can't do this if it's not real. You know, I got to be able to see it, got to be able to touch it. Some people can't. They're not able to do that physically or mentally or anything like that, but they're still able to perceive it.
What do you think, Bri?
That's kind of a tough one. I guess I'm living a more sheltered life. I never had to interact with anyone with these challenges. So I couldn't give you a good answer for that. I know that children tend to be more open than adults, because as adults we're told, oh, you're just crazy. Yeah, it's make believe. It's nothing, and you tend to harden that ability that you have as a child, because we are now more focused and guided on by the things around us, whereas a they're trying to absorb knowledge they can when they're young and absorbing everything. And so, yeah, as far as children goes, but as far as the mentally challenged, I couldn't answer that.
Well, I hope that answers your question, Tina. We did a good job at that. I really think that Keelan made a really good point, though, for sure. Guys, we're going to go to break in 3 minutes just to prepare you. We'll only be gone for 5 minutes. We'll still be streaming. We're just going to turn our mics off. So did we want to touch really quick on Willow Paranormal's apparition?
Yeah, we can do that.
So he said, what about a full apparition that walks by you and looks at you as it passes? And I think at that time we were talking about Kat's question about paranormal.
Yeah, we did. We were. On that one, that's never happened to me. So I'm looking forward to the day that does happen. But yeah, I would consider that kind of a paranormal, because that's not a normal thing.
But is it necessarily paranormal when we're talking about like ghosts?
Well,
you know.
Well, I mean, anything is. Bigfoot is considered paranormal.
But I mean, could we be actually like projecting that image ourselves from our own energy? You know what I mean?
Well, I think that goes back to the whole thing. If you know what the claims are, and it's been reported that yes, you got a lady in white and everything at this location, and I'm just using lady in white because it seems to be the whole big thing. Everybody has a lady in white. Um, so yeah, I mean, if you go there and you're expecting to see the lady in white, you can possibly manifest that, and that all gets amplified by everybody that's at that location wanting to see this lady in white. So yeah, I think it can be. Um, but I mean, if I didn't know anything what was going on at the location, and an apparition walks right in front of me and looks at me, yeah, I would definitely call that paranormal after I cleaned up myself.
All right, guys, we're going to go to break. We do have a question from Kat we will touch on when we get back. I do want to say hi to Justin. Hi, Justin. Glad you're here. It's okay. We're just glad you're here. So, and thank you for being here. So we'll be back in 5 minutes, guys. Like I said, the stream will not stop. Chat will still be open, and be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, we're live.
We're live? Okay. Welcome back, everybody, to Haunting the Afterlife Radio. If you are just coming in now, you missed our intro. We've just been basically talking about Haunting the Afterlife Radio, how it all started. Started, about a year and a half ago. We've been off air now for a few months, but we're back. Our main goals are para unity and basically creating a highway of paranormal integrity. So that's what our show is about. And your hosts are, what's that look, Brian? You're looking at me weird.
Oh, I was just going to add to that is just get like-minded people and give them a forum to go to and talk.
Yep.
And share information, share techniques, ideas, and yeah, and build friendships. That's the whole thing is building friendships within the paranormal community.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing about it all, other than the learning. I just love meeting new people. I've met so many amazing people, in the past year and a half since we've been on air. So, but anyways, start me, Susie. Caitlin.
Hello.
And Christina. Say hi, Christina.
Hello. I'm so excited.
Christina is new to our show, guys. So, well, not really new because she did mod our old chat room, but I mean, as far as being a host, she's new. But we love her. She's awesome. And so, anyways, we were talking a little bit about that, and we were introducing our groups. Brian, Caitlin, and I are with the Mr. Gang. You'll also be able to see Zoe and Lisa in chat there, who are also part of the Mr. Gang. And then Christina, who's your group?
Old Fort Paranormal Research out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. And Nikki's in chat. So,
and
yay.
She's part of your group too. So
yeah, and Will's listening. He can't type because he's driving. So, but him and Bobby are both listening. So.
Oh yeah, and I forgot to say, I just found out Josh is he's also an investigator on the Mr. Gang. He's in chat. He's the ninja dude. So hi, Josh. I just found that out.
I was wondering who Ninja was.
I was reprimanding him. I was like, "Why aren't you in chat?" He's like, "I am. I'm the ninja of the state." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Only Josh.
Because we would have guessed that. Yeah. Okay.
But anyways, so anyways, hi everybody, and we're going to answer Kat's question. And if we have more questions, we will answer those. And then we're going to get into our guest lineup, which I'm really excited to talk about too. So we are booked all the way until July. We are only going to be talking about our guests up until 5:24 for tonight. So that's all we have time for. But so anyways, let's answer Kat's question. So what was her question?
Well, I was going to comment on for Willow Paranormal, dealing with the full body apparition that passed in front of them and looked at them. Mm-hmm. They said that this is one at the most haunted places in Nevada, St. Mary Louise Hospital in Virginia City. I never got to investigate there.
Yeah.
And I believe this is Virgil that I'm talking with.
It might be Mark or Virgil.
Or Mark, yeah. I would have loved to have seen that. That is one of the things why I got into it, so I could actually get these experiences and then go back and do the research and find out who they were, and not really make a personal contact with them, but build a kind of a rapport and everything that they'll be able to be more at ease in interacting with the team. I would love to see the video clip that you got on that, or the photo. Okay, we can go to Christina's.
I want to see the photo.
I do too. Okay, so Kat Ward, she asked, do you think that what we call paranormal may be eventually explained as being normal over time? I think that's a really good question because I've wondered that myself, you know?
You know, as I think that if it ever becomes a quote, and I'm doing the air quotes, legitimate science, and we're able to 100% prove the paranormal activity, I think eventually that it will become just kind of a normal thing within the field. Do I think it will lose its lackluster if that happens? By the time that happens, I think that the whole being desensitized to the paranormal will kind of overtake us, and we won't get what we first got into the field for. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, because I feel the same way. Kat and I have talked about this. She feels a little differently, but I do feel that way, because I mean, I'm still the kind of person who could go into a location and get scared, and I kind of like that feeling. It keeps me going. It gives me that drive, and I enjoy it. Like when we went to Goldfield, the Mystery Gang went to Goldfield Hotel in Goldfield, Nevada last summer. We were lucky enough to go there twice, and you know, it at that point I kind of thought I was becoming desensitized because I had been, you know, investigating for so long. But my first time there, man. And then Lisa and I had this one experience on the second floor, right, Lisa? And I almost pooped my pants. I mean, and we had some fun times, and I like that, and it keeps me curious and it keeps me going. So that's just my opinion, though. You know.
Well, I want to kind of do a correlation real quick on that. Parachutist. I've worked with a lot of parachutists while I was in the military, and I always ask them, well, are you scared when you jump? And they all tell me that, yeah, they have that little bit of apprehension about walking out of a perfectly good aircraft. And even a few of them said that when they don't have that little nagging fear, they won't jump due to the fact that it has become so commonplace to them that they could forget something. So yeah, I think that if you're to the point and everything that you can go into, I'm going to use the parish crypts because that's really, really spooky to me. If you can go into the parish crypts without getting creeped out and everything, then yeah, I think you really need to look at why you're in the field.
That might be a partial step to get going from being that investigator to being that researcher only.
Oh, it could be, yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, I totally space that. Yeah, that could very well be to that little transition point from being that investigator to now becoming a researcher.
Lisa had to comment in there that I need paranormal depends. next time we go to Goldfield. Yes, Lisa. I might, man. That was so scary, you guys. I have to tell you guys about this really quick. Because I didn't really get to talk about my favorite paranormal experience yet. But so the mystery gang went to the infamous Crazy Haunted Goldfield Hotel last summer. We got to go twice. Lisa and I got invited to go with a different group the second time. So we went. That was the only mystery gang members who went that time. Lisa and I went to the second floor while all the other team members from the other team were downstairs. And just so you guys know, on the second floor is reportedly one of the most haunted places in that hotel. And from our previous investigation with the whole entire mystery gang, we captured something on video that if you guys saw, you would poop your pants just watching it. It's very scary. You actually, Brian, do you want to describe that like really quick, what you saw on the video?
Okay, we had, well, I can't say we. The team, one of the members, Lisa, was heading down to the end of a hallway. Well, actually, I wish Lisa was in the video too, so she could talk about it.
So she could talk about it. She was walking to the end of the hallway, and then out of the wall. This was all being videotaped by somebody else. Out of the wall, remember that shadow thing came out and like went to touch her.
Yeah, there was a shadow that came out of the wall. You could see it kind of going across the floor towards the investigator, Lisa. When somebody mentioned it, Lisa turned and the shadow went back into the wall away from her. So it was like going towards her. Somebody said something and it went away.
And you guys, the shadow was like what horror movies are made of. I mean, it was like slithering on the floor, and like it was just really, really, really. You want to talk about being paranormal? That was paranormal. And anyways, so a month later, Lisa and I went back to the floor and wanted to try and recreate that moment so we could debunk it. Well, so we're up there all by ourselves, and we're hearing things. We're hearing very loud thumping noises and all this crazy stuff. And the thing keeps making whatever it would make a noise in a room. We'd go to that room, and then we'd go in another room and make a different noise. So we were like chasing whatever this was from room to room to room. Well, this one moment, I remember Lisa and I were going live on Facebook. We followed this thing into one of the rooms. Our live went dead. All of our lights went dead. All I had was this little stupid flashlight that like never works. That's all I had. So we're standing in there, and suddenly from the room next to us, I heard this big boom, 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 noise. And I said, Lisa, did you hear that? She didn't hear it. I did capture it on audio, so I know I wasn't hearing things. But so we went chasing to that other room. So we go back into the other room, and we're sitting there in the complete dark. And Lisa turns around the corner to look out of the room, and she sees this big, huge shadow figure staring right back at her from across the hallway. And she looks at me and she goes, "He's right there." And I was so scared because we had no light and there was no one there with us. Everyone else was downstairs, and this is a huge hotel. So I almost peed my pants. I looked at Lisa and I said, "Lisa, this would be a really good time for us to talk to our spirit guides." That was the only thing I could really say. But we were really scared. So that's probably one of my most scariest paranormal moments. Except for the Geiger grade one when I almost jumped off the second story of the house.
I got a question for you, Susie. Why would you carry a flashlight that you just said never worked?
Well, it wasn't working at that moment. It normally worked before on other investigations, but for some reason, when we got upstairs on the second floor, it wasn't working. It kept going in and out and in and out. So, yeah.
It adds to the allure. Will it work? Will it not work? You never know.
And the cat kind of challenged me too, Cat Ward. She was like, Susie, when you go back there, you got to go into those rooms and just say F you. And you got to face those spirits. So I was kind of trying to,
and
do that to
just
myself.
just to let the chatters know and the people watching, we are or I am working on trying to get video so we could actually show video clips on the live stream. I just had an issue with the version of Skype and the version of OBS that I'm using aren't compatible. So I will be working with that, and eventually you'll be able to see our lovely faces. Well, my furry face and the ladies' lovely faces.
Yeah, well, that was supposed to be a definite, and then like Brian said, we started having problems like last minute. It literally just happened a few days ago, but we're really blessed that we at least you guys can hear us on audio, and so everything seems to be going pretty good. So I'm very happy about that. But we should still be able to, for our guests coming up, play audio like their EVPs. Is that going to be a problem?
It shouldn't be. And speaking of our guests and everything that we're going to be having on the show, I am going to start doing a slideshow of who we're going to be having. I don't have dates, so you'll have to just go out to our YouTube
That's okay.
page.
I got that covered. I got the dates.
And get the dates.
I got it covered, Brian. But yeah, go if you forget the dates. But I will mention the dates. So yeah, let's talk about our guests because I am so excited to be booked solid. So who you see on the screen right now is Kat Ward, who is also in chat. Let's talk about her for a minute. She is going to be on our show on 4/26. Now, Kat Ward is in Australia. She is a very good friend of mine. I've known her for quite some time. And she was on our show last year when we were on the other network. Now, what makes her special is she is super into parapsychology and she loves to read and research. So I'm really excited to have her on the show to talk about some of her favorite books, to give you guys some questions to ask yourself that maybe you haven't thought of before. Some things we've already been talking about so far on the show. Another thing about Kat is she started her own blog, and she's just published it, and it's called Cat in the Shadows. So if you want to go to her lovely blog, very masterfully written, by the way. That's catintheshadows.com. Right, Kat? Go ahead and tell me I'm right in chat there.
And I was going to hit real quick on Willa Paranormal's question. Okay. What are your thoughts on haunted objects, real or fake? I believe an object can take the energy from someone. So yeah, I do believe in haunted objects.
I do too. I definitely do feel like an object can be haunted if, like, let's say it was a favorite object of somebody who passed, or if somebody purposely puts their energy on something, I feel can also make it, I hate using the word haunted. I want to say more like it can actually hold that energy, if that makes sense. What do you think, Caitlin and Christina?
Yeah, I agree. I don't want to use the term haunted either. More of giving it its own essence of aliveness. I guess. I mean, and to go with you said, people can, if they willingly put their energy. I think also many times it's not necessarily willingly, but it's either with them, maybe during a traumatic event, whether it's a child who's it's a doll or something like that, and they're unknowingly putting their energy into it, kind of trapping it in there, or just anything that's around, whether like a joyous time, a sad time, a stressful, scared time, anything like that. I think I think energy just has that ability. It just kind of latches onto stuff. How about you, Christina?
Yeah, I feel the same way. There's a lot of people that have paranormal activity after they buy things from antique shops and stuff that's handed down to them by loved ones. I certainly think most definitely that things can be paranormal. I don't want to say haunted either. I mean, that haunted just sounds funny.
Well, see, that's really interesting. We call it haunted, but when we talk about spirits, we consider them energy. So wouldn't it be the object is charged with that spirit's energy?
Yeah, I agree, Brian. I think I don't know about it for you guys, but for me, like attaching the word haunted to stuff, I feel like haunted has like a negative connotation stuck to it.
Yeah, it kind of does.
The problem. It's not. People always go, oh, it's got to be a demon. It's got to be someone who died tragically if it's haunted. Not necessarily, but then unfortunately, that's kind of how it's been, like, made to perceived and made to sound. It's always got some negative connotation behind it when it doesn't necessarily have to be. And I think that's why.
But yeah, it's demonic. It's demonic.
Yeah, it's demonic. Or if it's haunted, then it's gonna get up and walk and be right. Like, Caitlin, hi, Caitlin.
Okay, if a ghost makes you poop your pants, if something gets up like a doll and starts walking, I'm doing more than that. Like it's gonna be floodgates down there. Okay.
And in that case and everything, since we're still talking about that item, a person that, if it's a favorite object or item and everything, can charge that energy or that item with their energy. Wouldn't that also say that someone else could trap someone's energy in an object?
I think you can.
Yeah. That's possible.
And then Billy made a comment in chat about taking something from Bodhi. So that fits right in there about.
Oh yeah, I've actually heard a lot about that. Taking objects from Bodhi, taking lava from Hawaii, that it's charged with that energy and everything. And yeah, they've had really bad things happen to them. And from what the park rangers say is they constantly get packages and everything thing, saying, sorry, I took this, and returning them
Yeah.
to
Yep.
those locations.
Oh my gosh, and it goes even further than that because we went to Bodie, I believe it was back in 2016. We weren't really investigating, even though we did do audio. We were just kind of on a little paranormal family excursion. But there's a book in their museum that's just packed with apology letters. I'm so sorry I took this from Bodie. I'm sending it back. I am so sorry. This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. This is what happened to me. I mean, it's just hundreds of pages. So, yeah, I definitely do think that that's a great question. Willow Paranormal, I do think that things can hold energy. Do I necessarily think they're haunted and they're going to get up and walk around? Hopefully not.
I think that from now on, the quote haunted objects are going to be now energized objects.
I mean, I agree. I do think that the spirit though can manipulate an object. So like that one, that one time I had that doll in my living room after I got back from Geiger grade. I had that doll that moved. So I do think that spirits can move and manipulate items, but do I think an item can be haunted? No, more charged with positive. It could be positive energy. It could be negative energy.
It could be positive. It could be negative. Yeah, it could be neutral. But I mean, I think Hollywood has a lot to answer for because they're the ones that make all these horror films like the Chucky and the Bride of Chucky and stuff. So, do I believe in the Annabelle doll? Like we said, the objects can retain energy of spirits. So, yeah. But as far as a doll getting up and walking around and stuff, yeah, let's leave that to Hollywood.
Billy says dolls are wicked. You know what, Billy?
A lot of people believe dolls are just empty vessels for spirits.
Well, we did that one show about Island of the Dolls. That was a creepy show, and I love getting all those creepy photos of the dolls and stuff. So yeah, that was a great show, but it definitely demonstrates how things can be charged with that energy, and that was basically supposedly why the dolls there on the Island of the Dolls are charged with that negative energy there. So, yeah. But anyways, let's get back to our guests because we only have 30 minutes left, guys. I can't believe it's gone by so fast. Okay, so I'm just, instead of looking at the screen because they're going by the pictures.
I'm just rotating the photos, so let's just talk about them, and when their photo comes up, the listeners can see what they look like.
Okay, so I'm going to begin with, I'm going to end with Kat. So everybody, again, Kat Ward, see her in chat. Hi, Kat. Awesome, amazing, very well educated. And she likes to, she's really into the parapsychology thing, and she's got some really amazing ideas. I love talking to her about that. So I'm sure you guys are going to love that show with her. And again, that's going to be on 4/26. Let's start at the beginning with February 1st, because that's going to be our next show. On that next show, we're going to have June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton Phillips of Ghost and Girls Paranormal. Now, these ladies have also been on a previous show of ours, and they're so much fun to talk to. And interestingly enough, June Lundgren is actually a DD. Am I here?
Well, yeah,
I hear you.
You're here now and everything.
Oh, okay. What did I last say? What do I need to recap?
The last thing I heard was February 1st.
Oh, geez. Okay. February 1st, we have June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton Phillips of Ghosts and Girls Paranormal. Am I still okay? Okay. June Lundgren is a demon seer, interestingly enough. Wendy Stanton Phillips is a medium. They go investigating all over the place. I believe the last investigations they did was in England. And they're here in the States, they're in Oregon. So they travel all over the place. They have recently been on Ghost Adventures. And I did watch the 2 episodes they were on. They were very fun to watch, and I'm very excited to talk about what that was like for them when to be on Ghost Adventures. What was their experience like? Because there's always that question in everybody's head. You know, is it real? Is Zach Bagans real? Is the show real? You know, all that kind of stuff. So again, they will be our first guests on February 1st. On February 15th, we have, and I believe he might still be in chat, Justin Neville of Southern Paranormal Hunters. You can look him up on Facebook. Anything you want to say about Justin, Brian, so they don't get tired of just listening to my voice?
We've had Justin on before. He's a great guy. He has a very, very well-established team, and he's one of the most down to earth. It's a great guy all around. I can't wait to talk with him again. And he is with Southern Paranormal.
Yeah, Southern Paranormal Hunters.
Yep, Southern Paranormal Hunters.
He's got a group page on Facebook and his own personal team page under that name. So check him out. I know Christina will have a bunch of great stuff to say, right, Christina? Because we all know each other.
Oh yeah, he's got a big heart. He's here not only in the paranormal world, but also on a personal level. You know, he gets to know people on that level, and he's going to be coming to Arkansas sometime in the next few months. So hopefully we get to get together. Yeah, hopefully we get to get together and investigate. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if it's for an actual investigation or a Paracon, but I got to get with him on that and see what's up. Because then if he don't have an investigation to do, our team will certainly get one together so that way he can join.
Give him a big hug for me. He was supposed to come here to Reno, Nevada, but something came up, and I'm not going to say because I don't know if I'm allowed to. But anyway, something came up, so won't be meeting him in person, but so give him a big hug for me. But again, he will be on February 15th. On March 1st, we have Dorothy Holder of New Zealand. Now, she is an energy therapist. She has also been on our show before. She is amazing and such a great time. And I know, Christina, you were in that show chat modding, and she did a reading for you, didn't she?
Yes, she's done several readings on me. All of the readings that she has done on me have all been accurate. She is amazing. I'm gonna butcher this. Aura readings. Did I say that right?
Yeah, aura readings.
Okay. Those I love it when she does those because she breaks everything down from your ears to your nose to your eyebrows to your every single part of your body, and she's awesome. She reads it perfect, and she's a talker. She likes to talk. She likes to talk. But yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah, she also did an amazing reading on me too, and I think she did on Julie B. Hi, Julie B in the chat. I think she did one on Julie B. But yeah, she is a crazy accurate and just very, very unique Very unique. So that's,
Yes.
yeah, very unique.
Yes. She is a very unique lady, and I love her to death. Not only is she spot on with her readings and stuff, she's actually a very funny lady. And if you want to have some good time and laugh and stuff, that show is going to be a good one.
Yeah. Oh, I really hope I can talk her into doing some readings for people. We can get their pictures and then get them to her, and then hopefully she can do some aura readings and stuff. So that'll be a really fun show, guys, if you're into that sort of stuff. Oh, Justin Neville said I can stay. Okay, Justin. Well, Justin's getting married. Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Justin.
Yeah, so that's
Yay!
Congrats.
yeah, that's why he won't be able to make it here to Reno. But hopefully someday, Justin, you better get your butt here so we can all investigate Virginia City. But anyway, so yeah, Dorothy Holder, March 1st. Then we do have a special show because what we're doing is we're doing every other Friday. Well, we went out of our way to make special arrangements so we can have threefold paranormal on March 8th. I forgot to include a picture of them in this because we just planned this. So, but threefold paranormal. I don't know. Should I tell everyone what they're going to be talking about, or should I keep it a surprise?
No, let's keep it a surprise and everything.
Okay, we'll keep that a surprise then.
But it's going to be amazing. They need to be here.
Yeah. But Julie, God, Rachel and Vanessa, they are very, very wonderful ladies. And they are doing such a wonderful investigation, almost on a personal level. And they are making headway with it. And yeah, they are just great people to talk with. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with them again.
Yeah, I am too. So that's Julia Saracusa of the house, or what do they call themselves? The Horsefly Chronicles house. I don't know who's familiar with that, but they're pretty popular on social media. But her and her two friends, Vanessa Hogel, and I hope I'm saying that right, and Rachel Rabel. Yeah, so that's the three of them. And yeah, you guys will always know what the show is going to be about a week before. I always make promo videos. So just because we're not saying now what the show is going to be about doesn't mean you have to wait until that show. You'll know a week ahead of time. But we want to keep it a surprise for now. So anyways, again, that will be March 8th. On 3/15, we have someone we've never had on our show, Deb Robinson of Australia. She's from Twisted History. I don't know a whole lot about her, but I have talked with her a little bit, and she's a sweetheart. Twisted History tours. So they're very big in Australia. They do tours in haunted locations, but more about that. Again, 3/15. On 3/29, we've got Brandon, and I really hope, Kat, don't kill me if I don't say this right, but Brandon Masulo. Now, he is a parapsychologist, and he is author of the Ghost Studies. I don't know who is familiar with the Ghost Studies. I've seen it's pretty big in the paranormal community already. Kat was such a sweetheart and sent me his book, The Ghost Studies, for a Christmas present, and I'm so excited to read it so I can be prepared. Can you hear me, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay, you have that look on your face again. Anyways, I'm gonna read that and get myself ready for the show. But very, very, it's an honor to be able to have him on. Okay, Christina, this is your time to shine on April 12th. Tammy, and I don't want to slaughter her last name.
Tammy Gamarthy. She is the founder and case manager of Lost Souls Investigations from California. She's a sensitive and an empath, and she has a nickname, and they call her the Haunted. She has had 15 years worth of paranormal experience, but it all started when she was 5 while being at the Meek Estate Mansion in Hayward, California. And she also investigated with Ghost Adventures. She did the Hotel Liger in California with Ghost Adventures, and she is amazing. She is truly down to earth. So she's got a lot of health issues going on right now, but she's about got them fixed, and I can't wait. Y'all are gonna have fun with her. She's really knowledgeable as well. So hopefully she'll be all better by then.
Yeah, hopefully. I've noticed that too. So love and light to her, definitely. Now, she was on when you were a host on the other network. You were co-hosting with Bill Bowling, and you guys had her on twice, or was it just the one time?
We just had her on one time, and she blew us away. I mean, the people that were in chat were like, "Wow, this chick is amazing," because she's blunt, but she's knowledgeable.
There she is on the screen, everyone. I don't have her name up there.
And she is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, she's amazing. Everybody's gonna love her.
Well, thank you for that, Christina. I'm very much looking forward to meeting her. Again, guys, that's 4/12, so the April 12th. We already talked about Kat on April 26th. Our next is May 10th, Bill to Bone. I don't know a lot about him either. Never had him on a show, but he has been greatly referred. He is in Australia, of Australian Paranormal Society. I have talked to him a little bit. He seems like a total sweetheart. There he is up on the screen right now. Bill Tone, very well known in the Australian community there, apparently, according to Kat Ward, right, Kat? But a sweetheart, very, very awesome. Very excited to have him on. Now, our last one that I'm going to mention, again, like I said, we're booked all the way till July, but I'm only going to mention up to May. May 24th, we've got Jason Nelms of Sinister Sightings. Now, what makes him special is he's the Mr. Gang sister team. So he has been on our show, and that was, not last November, but the November before, right, Bri?
Oh yeah, it's been a while since we've talked to Jason Helms.
He is amazing. He is just so full of integrity. Bless his soul. I love him, and he is a great investigator, and I can't wait to have him back on the show. Now, Caitlin, were you on the show with us when we had him as a guest? Do you remember?
Yeah, I was there for that one. He's wonderful. He's a sweet guy. He's very, very talkative, very charismatic. Good show.
He's also very down to earth and straightforward, and yeah, he's gonna make a great guest, and he lives not very far from me. So as I guess that would be why we're sister teams, right? But anyways, guys, so those are our guests. We will, again, within the next few months, as soon as we get more booked up to like September or what have you, we will announce more guests then. So that's all for now as far as our guests go. But if you guys have any questions about them, you want to look them up before their shows, just look them up on Facebook. They're all on Facebook. Again, I'll go ahead and repeat the names really quick for you. June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton Phillips. You can also look up Ghost and Girls Paranormal on Facebook. Justin Neville of Southern Paranormal Hunters. Again, you can look them up on Facebook. Dorothy Holter of New Zealand, energy therapist. Now you can Google her and you can look up her website, and she also has a few radio shows, so you can get to know her before she's on our show. Dorothy Holder. Deb Robinson of Twisted History Tours. You can look Twisted History Tours up on Facebook. Get to know her and get to know what Twisted History is about. Brandon Masulo, author of The Ghost Studies. I'm a bad girl because I forgot his group page, but maybe Kat could put that in chat for me because she's friends with him. But if you want to look up his book and maybe order it, again, The Ghost Studies, give you a different outlook on the paranormal. And Tammy Guarmathy?
Gamarthy.
Guarmathy, Gyarmathy. Again, you can look her up on Facebook. And of course, Kat Ward, I gave you guys the catintheshadows.com. Fascinating blog. Love all of her posts. Bill to Bone. Now you can look up Australian Paranormal Society on Facebook as well. And Jason Nelm's Sinister Sightings. You can also, he's got a group page, and then he's also got his team page. So anyways, guys, what other questions? Oh, Kat did just post in there. Haunted Theories is Brandon Masulo's page. Look that up. It's fascinating stuff. So anybody have any other questions for us? Or what else should we talk about? Because we've still got about...
I got about 8 minutes left. We can go ahead and do our shout outs. But I would like to say, if you like the show, give us a like, subscribe. If you want to make comments or suggestions for the show, leave them down in the comments area below the video. Yeah, we will definitely look at your comments and read them. And if you have questions, ask us those questions offline and everything, and we'll get back to you with those with our answers. They might not be the right answers, but they'll be our answers. And if you just want to just interact with us, just come on into the chat and talk to us. Come down to our Facebook page and give it a like and comment on there.
I'm gonna put our mystery gang.
And I want to say hi to Dorothy. She just came in to chat. And this is a very wonderful lady. I can't wait to get to talk to her again. I had such a blast last time talking with her, and even talking with her offline, off of shows and everything. She's an absolutely wonderful lady.
And Dorothy, you just missed your synopsis. We just talked about you for like 15 minutes. So everybody say hi to Dorothy.
That and I have to say that that Kat, she is my favorite redhead Australian. She is such a wonderful lady, very, very knowledgeable. And I just love talking with her and learning all that I can. And I don't talk to her as much, but I want to talk to her more.
Just give her a call on Facebook. Just ring her up, and then she'll talk to you for like 5 hours. We've had some amazing combos for that.
And Jason, these are people that to sit with, because as you say, birds of a feather flock together, and these people just have the integrity and the knowledge that's just kind of like you just want to sit down and talk with them and learn as much as you can. And they are a great people.
And they're also very kind-hearted, you know.
Oh yeah, yes, very kind-hearted.
They're the kind of people you can just message and just be like, hey, I want to get to know you, you know, and they're very sympathetic and kind-hearted. So, but anyways, now I lost track of what I was going to say. So thanks, Dorothy. And like I would say, oh well, what the heck? So let's get to our conclusion because yeah, we only have 4 minutes left. But so, anyways, oh, I remember what I was going to say now. Going on to what Brian was saying about questions, comments, you can also email us, haunting underscore the underscore afterlife at yahoo.com. And you can put in show requests, guest requests, questions, comments, what have you. And then we've also got a few other links I want to put in really quick. So I already put in our mystery gang, and then I also did Christina's group. Oh yes, so Haunting the Afterlife Radio, if you don't already know, it does have a group page. Chat right now. Now, go ahead and if you want to keep updated on our events, you can also post questions in there. You know, it's pretty much open to everything, except we would prefer you only to share posts on Mondays. But to keep up on events and all that kind of stuff, go ahead and go to that link and join our group page. And then also, I wanted to give a shout, and I do a Facebook shout to Sinister Sightings, because we always do group shouts before the end of every show. So I'm going to go ahead and put the link to Sinister Sightings in chat. Did you want to say something, Bri?
No.
Okay. Christina, do you want to post here in our little chat your 04 link again? Because I lost it, so I can put that in before we close.
I don't think it'll let me because I tried a while ago again.
No, put it in the Skype call with us, and then I can copy because my computer's so and I can't look it up on Facebook right now. Okay. So go ahead and give me that really quick. And then other than that, you guys, please subscribe to our channel because we need 100 subscribers in order to get our own personalized link. Our link right now is like 10 paragraphs long. And so, and the thing is if you do subscribe, you also get notifications when our show is going live. So, Christina, I think you did also have a Facebook.
Yes, Riverbend Paranormal out of Alton, Illinois. As you know, Alton, Illinois is supposedly the most haunted city in the United States. So go give them a like and a follow, and they're a great team. They do a lot of stuff for veterans and children with disabilities. So
Cool.
Riverbend Paranormal. So
very cool. So check them out. And then here's again Christina's team's page. So go check them out and follow them. And I just want to say, you know, thank you guys so much for being here with us, especially for our opening night. We were a little nervous about how it would go, and it went so amazing. Thank you. And if you guys have any questions, like I said, email us or ask away. Hope you enjoyed the show. I want to say. What was that, Caitlin? I didn't hear you.
No, I just said just a huge thank you to everyone that tuned in and showed up, and it means a lot to us. It really does.
It does. This is our passion. We do this because we love it. We don't make money from it. We're not trying to be famous. We do it because we love it. We love talking to you guys, and yeah, it means a lot to us. So we hope that you will join us on our next show again, February 1st. June Lundgren and Wendy Stanton Phillips. We look forward to seeing you at the same time, same place. Just click that YouTube link and wait for us to go live. And we look forward to seeing you guys. You guys are going to be family to us, and a lot of you already are. So I want to say have a great rest of your night. Have a great weekend. See you soon, and light and love. Peace.